Hi guys. I'm listening to some frequencies right now. Puts me in a very calm state. I'm also have the sun in the back, feels good. Um, and I also have a message to share for some of you out there. So, have you ever get like ringing on your ear? Does that ever happen to you? And have you ever questioned why? Um, I got the answers for you. And this is just based on my experience. It might be different for you, but maybe not. Maybe actually I need to share this message so you can finally know why you've been getting ringing on your ear. So from my experience, what's been happening is that every time I get like ringing on my ear, it's like advised for me to not get involved. It's like it's an advice for me to step out from the action that I was about to take. And I'm going to tell you why this is happening, because from the past, in the strongest moment of my life that this happened to me, is that I was about to take some actions. I'm not going to go into details because I don't want to share this part of my life, but I was going to take an action, which I did. And in that moment, my ears were ringing really loudly. This was the first time I experienced this. It was both of my ears were ringing and ringing and ringing. It wouldn't stop ringing. It was like, and when I say ringing, it's like this frequency that comes into your ear, and it's like a ding, like a really loud ding. So this first time that happened, it was really bad. Like it was in both of my ears, and it was just like non-stop. Like it was constant, and I was like even touching my ears, and I couldn't control it. It was like so strange. It was almost like somebody trying to scream at me. I felt like almost like somebody was trying to scream, but for some reason at that time, I wasn't like spiritual. I always had things happen to me as a kid, but I forgot growing up. After I forgot those experiences, so I like really did not like pay attention to any of these things after a while. Like I don't even thought about nothing spiritual for many years of my life. But in that moment, I never forget this ringing on my ear. Was really loud, very loud, and I remember thinking like, I don't understand why my ears were ringing this loud. Like it was bad. It was really bad. It's like I said, my ears were bothering me. Like it was worse. It was like the worst ringings that you can imagine. It was not just like a little. No, it was like bad. Anyways, all this to say, I did take the action in that time because I was about to do something, and I kept going even with all this ringing on my ear. I kept going, and I just try to ignore it, touch my ears, whatever. And guess what? It was the worst thing ever that I did. The worst decision I ever did was like bad. Like the outcome of it was like the worst. It like I can say like till this day, it took me like many years to recuperate from that experience. It took me many years to fix things with certain people. It took me many years to like retract that action that I did. And then some part of me thinks that if I would not done that, my life right now would have been so different. Like things would have been like completely different. Like I feel like my life would have gone like a way much better direction, but because I ignored that, it did not went the best way. Like I struggle much more, if that makes sense. So I'm sharing this experience with you because maybe your experience might be similar as mine or might not. Take it how it resonates, but maybe it's good that I went through this. Maybe I was supposed to go through this because now I'm sharing this message with you. So there's the other side, right? But yeah, now I'm just realizing this, but it's actually good that I went through that because now I'm sharing this with you to help you, so you don't make the same mistake as I did. So yes, when you hear the ringing on your ear, it's just advised for you not to get involved. It's advice for you to step back. It's for you to not take that action that you were about to do. So today I actually had another experience. A couple days back, I met this girl, and I opened up topics about spirituality because I was not feeling well that day. My stomach was hurting and I was just having like an off day, and so my energy was off, and so I just decided to open up on this. And I've seen this girl like on random places. Like I've seen her, like it's just like, it's almost like we needed to know each other, but at the same time, like it could be me manifesting her for some reason because of my energy, if that makes sense, how my projections are being projected out into my reality. But anyways, we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole. But with this girl, she, you know, that kind of people that are like religious but kind of like fanatic, like they just take things very serious with the Bible, or they just like, I don't know how to say this, but like I also had another experience with them. I have a lot of experience with fanatics, with like people that want to like push their beliefs into you, like, if that makes sense. Like they just want you to but not saying that she did that, but she comes off as like kind of like that, if that makes sense. I don't know how to go into detail into this because I don't want to like say something wrong, but anyway, she has a strange vibe when it comes to like religion and like the Bible, and like she doesn't believe that the power is within. Like she doesn't believe that God is within yourself. I do believe that God is within ourselves because I heard a voice when I was 5, like a real voice, not like just imagining in my head. You know how people, oh, I hear the voice of God, but they're actually hearing their own thoughts, if that makes sense. In my case, was like I heard like another voice. Like it wasn't my own voice, it was another voice being whispered in my ear. And I was with my dad, and I was 5. I was not into anything spiritual at that age. I was into playing, I was into being in the park. My parents were not reading me the Bible or taking me to church, or they never was like that. So it came from the most natural place that I heard this voice. And then after that, I have other experiences where I start hearing people's thoughts, which I confirm that this was true, that I was not imagining. I could literally hear the person's voice in my ears, like if they were like talking to me like this out loud. Like let's say my mom was talking to me, and I can hear my mom's voice talking to me, but she was not in the same room, if that makes sense. After that, because this happened when I was really young, after that it went away, but it never really, then I would say like what people say, like I channel or something like that. You know how some people say I'm channeling this message. It's kind of like what happens to me now, where I'm like, and what I've started to notice, maybe this will also resonate with you, when I touch water, where I'm like doing dishes or I'm taking a shower, that's when the message just starts coming through, and I get like visions, like images in my head, which is so strange. Like I just like randomly get images about stuff, like events around certain people, and then eventually like the person will tell me they were doing this, and I just saw the image of them doing it. Like it just like flashes, like there's flashes that comes to my mind, like images, like they're being projected with certain people. Like I'm talking certain people that I'm like involving my energy with, like it will just happen naturally. I've been able to control like connecting to people when I'm like in water, like when I'm taking a shower. I've been able to like connect and like say like, hey, does this happen to you when you were growing up, or like does this happen to you recently? And then the person would say like, wow, how do you know that? Like I had that happen to me with a stranger, where I met this stranger in a dog park, and we started conversation because at that time I had like crystal rocks in my keychain. They were like representing like the chakras, and so we opened up conversation and we exchanged numbers. And then one day I was taking a shower. For some reason I wanted to channel him because I wanted to see like what was his backstory. Like, even though he told me some things, I don't know this person, so I was curious to see how far can my channeling can go. And I was taking a shower and closed my eyes. I usually, when I want to channel, like, I'll play certain frequencies. Like right now I'm playing a frequency so I can make this message the best way I can. So yeah, and I got like a bunch of images when I was taking a shower, and then I sent this message to him about certain things that happened into his life, and he said, yeah, he said, you really have like some gift because this actually happened to me. And I also said something about to him, because this is what happened in a vision, like the spirits or the energy. It was kind of strange because it was kind of like alienish. There was an alien, like a spirit alien in the vision. I'm not sure because this is what he was feeling at that time, or it's because he's kind of like an alien that came here to this planet. But not like he is literally an alien, if you know what I mean. Like, he has like descendancy from another planet. Anyways, we're not gonna get into the other rabbit hole. Am I saying it right? But I said like this alien that I saw that didn't have any gender, it kind of felt like feminine to me, but at the same time it was letting me know like no gender, like it was just like so all blue. And she took me to his heart, and she was showing me like things were not like plugged in a way, like kind of like cables, right? You know when you have like messy cables and they're like, there's like a lot of like messiness, and there was like no what's the word? But anyways, it was something with the heart and connections and certain things. And I said like, I don't really remember in detail, but I told him like, there's something about your heart, like your heart needs to heal, and like there's, oh man, I gotta go back to this messages. This was a long time ago, but basically I did not think he would do this, but he went to the doctors. Maybe something happened. He went to the doctors and he said, you know that thing that you told me about my heart, actually having heart problems. And I was like, damn. And that was just a random person at the park. Like, I don't know this person at all. Like, so the fact that I was able to see that, and that's not the first time by the way, that's not the first time I have this experience. Like, I had dreams where I get premonitions about somebody getting sick, and then the next day the person says like, so and so got sick with like, that happened to me in the school I used to work. Like, there was this baby that I saw in the dream, like, and I went inside the body and it took me to his ear area. And then when I went the next day, they were like, Lawrence had ear infection, so he had to be out. And I was like, what? I just had a dream about him. I also had dreams about people, like, I also had a dream where the same person had the same dream. So yes, that was pretty cool. Like, we both had the same dream. Like, we both had the same dream. Isn't it so wild? Like, we knew our conversations. We knew that we were like talking to each other in a dream, and like she remembered. And I know she was good at the dreaming things, because she told me about certain things about dreams when she had her daughter. Like, she already knew how her daughter would look like. I remember her telling me certain things about dreams that she had that then happened. So, and then I had that dream that we both had the same dream. The next day we were talking, hey, I just had a dream about you. I was like, what? I just had a dream about you? And then we were like talking about the same dream. Anyways, oh my god, I got so many stories to share with you, but I feel like I went off topic. But basically all of this to say, like, I'm gonna resume it here. All of this to say, like, if you get ringing on your ear, it is being strongly advised not to get involved. Oh, so let me tell you this last story before I go. So this girl that I was telling you about, that she seems very like fanatic to me when it comes to religion and reading the Bible and God and all this kind of stuff. She actually wanted me to like talk to her more about like God and stuff and go for a walk. But since I met this girl, like I always had to like, you know how you can like feel things, like your gut feeling is telling you things about a person, like not to get involved, not talk to them, but it just happened. Like we ended up talking because we saw each other so many times. Maybe it is meant to be, I don't know. Maybe I'm actually like meant to have this experience with her. Anyways, I need to give it some meditation, some thought. But that day that I talked, that I said like I wasn't feeling well and stuff, I opened up, so I ended up talking about spiritual things, but we didn't really finish the conversation because she had something happen in that moment, and we were like, okay, let's just talk we got our numbers, so let's just talk when we can. And then I was about to send her a message one night, like that same night, like she wanted to like know when we can like hang out and like walk and talk about God, and I never really responded. Again, like there's this strong feeling inside of me like I should not respond to her, but I did, because obviously I need to respond to her. But I responded the next day because she texted me again. And so that night when I talked to her and I said, do you follow the angel numbers? And she actually starts laughing. It's like, ha ha ha, yes, I've heard about the angel numbers. I'm like, oh. Just the way when somebody laughs like that, it's like, I just let them be. I'm not like, whatever. But like, you can already tell like this, how the conversation is gonna go. Like, so I actually was gonna make a video. Okay, side note, I was actually gonna make a video about angel numbers and how like angel numbers are a distraction and we shouldn't be looking at them. But you know what? I got ringing on my ear when I was making the video. I got like a couple rings on my ear, so it's like, I never posted this video because I got ringing on my ear, and I was like, okay, so maybe this is not the right thing to think about, honestly. And like I said, God is within yourself, so if you want to believe that angel numbers are bad, like this is gonna be a part of your reality. If you believe that angel numbers are there to guide you, and you're also like, you're manifesting the angel numbers, but they're guidance. Like, something that shocked me the other day, I saw the 444 in the clock, and then it was also 44 degrees, so I took a screenshot. It was like a lot of fours. And then I remember seeing this post the day before where I was like, this post had a very powerful message. It was about oh, this is great. So it was about like, you are not there to save them, you are there to love them. They have to save themselves. Isn't it so funny? Like, some religious people, the fanatic ones, they think they have this responsibility, like, to like save the people by spreading the message of God. Something to think about. Anyways, so anyways, I shared this with her, and you know what's funny? Before I was about to share the message, I heard the ringing on my ear, on my left ear. It was right here. And I was about to send her the screenshot of the 444. I did it. I ignored the ringing on my ear. And so, because I thought, maybe I'm supposed to like tell her this, like, I don't know, like, and I'm like, but it's so strange that I just like read this message. They have to save themselves, and I don't want to come across like, I want to, like, when I share information, I'm never like sharing it to like push my beliefs into anybody. I just want to share my experiences. But anyways, I just wanted to share this with her since we opened the spiritual realm. Very different though. We are very different. Which I already knew, but whatever. I sent the message, and then of course she's like laughing, and I felt like I really gave her like a really like deep like message. Like for me it was deep. But she was like, it's not that simple, like you're painting it to be oh, a little cute bug just jumped on me. And I was like, and then she sends me like verses of the Bible, and then like she sends me like more of like, we should go out and talk more about God and Jesus, and like you have to be like Jesus has to save you, blah blah blah. I'm like, this is the contrary what I'm trying, like, for me, honestly, I'm sorry if you don't believe the same thing. I don't think anybody that comes to my channel thinks like this, but for me, like, the real message was that God is within yourself, because this is what I heard. This is my reality, right? Doesn't apply to everybody, but there's a lot of scientifically things also that evidence that our perception like changes the way our reality is. Like, if you are really into this topic, like search quantum mechanics and all those other topics. Also, the CIA invested like millions of dollars just to have people have out-of-body experiences, and also do remote viewing. There's a lot of interesting information out there that why the CIA would do that. Anyways, side note, there's a lot of like information out there that I found like scientifically that it evidence even more that we have so much power within ourselves. But anyways, what I was gonna say is that it's funny that I got that ringing on my ear and I decided to ignore it, and then she's sending me all this like Bible stuff, and you should like something about Jesus, blah blah. I didn't really want to read it. Like, I was like, okay, and then I said, last night I heard the ringing on my ear, and every time I hear this ringing on my ear, like, it's strongly advised for me not to get involved. So the next time we talk, like, I would rather talk about other things happening in our life, but not our spiritual beliefs. And I left it like that because honestly, and this is just a story for me to share, I feel like for some people out there that are having ringing on their ears, they don't understand why this is happening. Maybe this is why it could be different for everybody. Maybe your experience has been completely different from mine, but for me personally, it's like a sign of like, don't get involved. Oh, my boyfriend's calling me. I guess this is goodbye. Bye.